Today, I'm going to be selling the 7-foot pair of bullwhips. These are the highest quality whips that I will be selling out of this bundle. I am selling a 8-foot and a 7-foot paracord bullwhip, but they do not compare to these because these were made just recently. Next, I'll show you the physical flaws of these whips so that you are not surprised by them if you decided to buy it.
So here they are. I'll do them one at a time here in a minute, but right now I'll show you the similarities. The heel knots are pretty close. The handle, though, when it comes to the braiding, the handle is spot on. One transition knot is like a millimeter higher, but I don't think that really matters. And on both of them, the braiding is not straight, but back then I was braiding off of a vise and I was moving them up. So it was pretty hard to keep it, and I just didn't know how to keep braiding straight. Now I'm braiding on a hook, so while my braiding is not straight, or perfectly straight yet, it is a lot better than this. Alright, I have one of these here. The handle, get back here. The handle looks pretty good. And then if we move up, we see our first problem right here. This is a 16 plat overlay, by the way. We see some gaps, and it kind of kinks there. Well, that is because of binding. I found that I can do better work without any binding. I just let the braiding do all the work for me. So that is why this whip, when curled up in its natural state, is kind of weird and not very symmetrical. So if we move on down the thong, it's just, it's not straight because I was braiding on a vise back then. And I've since moved on to a hook and to a different braiding method, which I have figured out. Even though my braiding's not as straight as I would like it right now, it is a lot straighter than this. But here's the fall hitch. This is not a new fall, but I definitely made sure to put on a new cracker. But I'm not doing my fall hitches like this anymore. I've changed up my method on that. So anyway, there's this one. I'll move on to the other one. Alright, here's the next one. There's not going to be much to show here because, of course, it's an identical pair. But, you got your heel knot. It, like I showed in one of those segments, it lines up perfectly. We kind of have some gaps here, but it's not as bad of a kink. I think I bound this one less, which is why it probably weighs an ounce less. But it goes down. It still has that weird rollout, which just has always irritated me on this whip. But it doesn't really affect the performance. Same thing, fall hitch. And if I'm going kind of fast here, I do have detailed pictures of these on my Instagram with the CP bullwhips. So anyway, here's the pair of whips.
So now I'll tell you how they crack. Well, these whips are a little heavy for being a pair. I found that out the hard way. I think if you're going to do a pair of whips, you should definitely go with a performance hybrid or a stock whip because they're lighter. This I built to my standard, construction. 2 bellies, a shot-loaded core, and especially a 10-inch quarter of an inch steel rod for the handle. With all that weight, it makes it a little slower and doesn't crack to its full potential. I can't crack two-handed very well right now. But even with the basics that I do have, I know that something isn't right. But if you're wanting a pair for 2 whips for cheap, I think this is a good option to go. Because if you get a high-end pair of whips, they can easily cost over $250. I guess the perk of them being crafted the way they are is that once you do get a pair of good whips, the stuff you learned on this will transfer These are the pair of 2-foot, almost identical bullwhips. If you're interested in these whips, go to the CP Bullwhips Instagram page, find the post about these whips, and comment if you have any questions, or if you're interested. I will respond to you as quick as I can, and if you have questions, I will try to respond to them to the best of my ability. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good day.